everybody. This is Joel with Brutally Delicious, here today to talk about a bit of an older release by a Greek death doom band called SLOUGH of Despair. Their debut was called Catacombs of Terror, was originally released digitally and independently in 2020. And then Chaos Records re-released it a year later on CD. So the album has been around for a while, but my first listen was about a month ago. And it right away seemed a cut above, mixing the vocal bite and growl of bands like Asphyx and Obituary with the grooviness of Mortiferum and Jupiterian. A really nice combination of things. Filthy, down-tuned riffs and crushing drums. The drums sound fantastic on this record. It's almost got a Funeral Doom vibe with its plodding struggle persistence pattern. It's extremely well done death doom, and it's difficult to understand for me why the album hasn't gotten more attention. So one of the possibilities for that could be its pace, which is sort of a marshy slow burn. It's not dynamically urgent from song to song. It's sort of impending. And as heavy as it is, there's a sense that something heavier is about to fall from the heavens and crush you into a pancake. About halfway through the record, the song Humanity's Crucifixion is where things start becoming clear. It's got some occasional dissonance with swirling atmospheric keyboards sort of lurking in the background of the mix. It's not a happy sounding tune at all. Now, it's my understanding that the band got its name from a book called The Pilgrim's Progress by a 17th century writer named John Bunyan. And in the story, there's a place called the Slough of Despond, which is a deep swamp that the lead character sinks in under the weight of his sins, a precursor to Tolkien's Dead Marshes from the Two Towers. Basically, it's the kind of place that would look and smell the way death doom sounds. It's a perfect setting for music like this. Nothing on the surface is obvious except the misery that's already been advertised. Slough of Despair, Catacombs of Terror, and each song is another step closer to even more suffering. But as miserable as life can be, it's the nature of humanity to seek, find, and share light. There may be no end in sight, but there is at least sight. And as long as there's something to see, there's something to say. And I think that the positivity that exists within human suffering is our ability to share our struggles by the stories we tell and the art we create. The heaviness of chronic depression is expressed with great detail on this album, sometimes very subtly. It's one of those records that never really ends. With the last track seamlessly circling back into the beginning of the first, your ears just lean that way. And maybe, for me, it's relatable on a subconscious level, having sunk its claws deep into my existential paranoia and social ineptitude. But the sense it makes doesn't matter much because it feels familiar. The stabs of loneliness and regret, and yes, the weight of sin, all feel a lot less hopeless when you're covered with a few layers of familiar. So the conclusion, I suppose, is that this album, full of death and dying and depression and hopelessness, those things are very evident. but it's the subtleties and the musicianship and the production value, the sound of the guitars. There's an organic nature to it. You're with these people. You know, they're deep into your bones. It feels highly effective. So the music, and then by extension the musicians, are keeping you company. That's how it feels to me anyway. I think it's a beautiful record. So yeah, go pick it up on Bandcamp, and sit with it for a while. Let it speak to you. I think you'd really be surprised at how much is there. All right, everybody, take care.